What if I told you that one of the most debated artists in hip-hop history isn't actually overrated or underrated, but something far more dangerous than both? Because depending on who you ask, she is either the greatest female rapper of all time or the most controversial product of the industry's hype machine. But here's the problem. Neither side can actually prove it, because every time you try to judge her career fairly, she does something that completely breaks the scale. Records get shattered, new artists get compared to her instantly, and entire eras of rap get divided into before her and after her. So the real question isn't just, how good is Nicki Minaj actually? It's this: did she redefine what good even means in rap? Or did she just dominate a moment in time? Let's find out. Setup: before the fame. Before the fame, before the awards, before the global tours, Nicki Minaj wasn't Nicki Minaj yet. She was Annika Maraj, born in Trinidad and raised in Queens, New York. And her early life wasn't built for comfort, it was built for survival. She grew up in a household filled with instability, financial pressure, and constant tension. But what stood out wasn't her situation, it was her imagination. Even as a kid, she was obsessed with voices, characters, and performance. She would act, write, and create alter personalities long before anyone knew her name. And that detail becomes important later, because it's not just part of her personality, it becomes her weapon. Before music fame, she was working regular jobs, auditioning, and trying to break into anything entertainment related. She was rejected repeatedly, but rejection didn't slow her down, it sharpened her identity. Because if the industry wouldn't accept Annika, she would create someone impossible to ignore. Breakthrough moment. Everything changes when she starts uploading music and building a buzz online and in mixtape culture. Her early mixtapes spread fast, not because she was polished, but because she was different. Then comes the turning point. She catches the attention of major industry players and eventually signs with Young Money Entertainment. That's when the transformation becomes real. Suddenly, she's placed in the same orbit as artists like Drake and Lil Wayne. But here's the key. She wasn't just another rapper in the group. She stood out immediately. Because while others were focused on bars and flows, Nicki brought something else. Aggressive switching voices, animated delivery, unpredictable energy shifts, and fully built characters inside her verses. At a time when hip-hop was still heavily dominated by one style, she felt like 3 or 4 artists in one body, and that made people either love her instantly or not understand her at all. But attention is attention, and she was getting all of it. Rise to global dominance. Then comes the explosion. Her debut album Pink Friday turns her from rising star into global force. Suddenly, she's not just in the conversation, she's leading it. Hits start stacking up, awards follow, features become guaranteed chart success. But the real shift wasn't just commercial, it was cultural. Nicki wasn't just a female rapper. She was becoming the standard people compared others to. Her voice, her alter egos, her styling, all of it created a brand that felt bigger than music. Then came the crossover era. She steps into pop without losing rap credibility. Songs like Super Bass didn't just chart, they dominated radio worldwide. And this is where her skill becomes undeniable. She could switch audiences without switching identity. Rap fans still respected her bars, pop fans still played her hooks, and the industry started adjusting itself around her. Turning point era. Every legendary career has a turning point. Not a breakdown, but a shift where the artist defines their legacy. For Nicki Minaj, that moment comes when she stops being the new star and becomes the benchmark. She starts breaking records that were previously untouched by female rappers. She expands her influence into fashion, pop culture, and global music identity. Then comes one of her most defining eras. She doubles down on spectacle. Characters like Roman Zelensky aren't just gimmicks, they become storytelling tools. Every performance feels unpredictable. Every verse feels like multiple personalities competing for attention. Then she enters her later era projects like Queen, where the question isn't, can she still compete? It's, can anyone actually replace her position? Even when trends shift, her presence stays central. And this is the turning point. She is no longer chasing relevance. She is the reference point others chase. Modern era legacy building. As the industry evolves, new female rappers rise, but almost all of them are compared, directly or indirectly, to Nicki Minaj. Not just in sound, but in ambition, because she set a blueprint. Versatility and delivery, character-driven performance crossover appeal without losing rap identity and commercial dominance from a female rapper perspective. Even in newer eras, her influence is everywhere, from flows to visuals to marketing strategies. And unlike many artists who fade after peak success, she remains part of every major hip-hop conversation, not always at the center, but impossible to ignore. because whether people realize it or not, the standard they're measuring against often started with her. Closing answer. So, how good is Nicki Minaj actually? She isn't just successful, she isn't just influential, she is one of the defining architects of modern mainstream rap performance, especially for female artists. You don't have to like every era of her music. You don't have to agree with every artistic choice. But one fact remains consistent. She didn't just enter the industry, she changed the expectations inside it. And that's why even today, the question isn't whether Nicki Minaj is relevant, it's whether anyone else has truly matched what she built.